It's working. Okay, great. After all this time, I haven't been able to just get the Zoom to stream YouTube, and here we are. And it worked, and so this is great. And now I'm watching myself. I really miss hopping onto those lives and sharing reflections that aren't just the pre-recorded videos. And, something that came to me today since having been back in Phoenix, Arizona, this past month, is it always brings me back to the law of attraction. Because the only two times that I went to Phoenix in the past, I went to see Abraham Hicks. Where are my Abraham fans at? I went to see Abraham Hicks, and of course, it's life changing. And if you don't know Abraham Hicks, basically, it's Esther Hicks, and she channels this collective called Abraham. And for years, just speaks and has people in the hot seat come up with questions and just constantly speaking to the law of attraction. And, some of you might already be all on that. I have been into the law of attraction for so long, and there definitely is something about just seeing it live and, really manifesting the things that you desire. And, one of the thoughts that I had about this recently, because I think one of the things that tends to happen is the law of attraction gets brought in to be more about like, I want to change my reality. So I'll really try to focus on a different reality, or I want to change the outcome. So I'll really try to focus on a different outcome. And it's still coming from an attempt to change something as it is, or like from a place of lack or fear rather than alignment. And I think we're all human. I'm human. We're all guilty of this, of just not finding the comfort in the surrender of our of all of the things that are out of our control, and just really putting focus on what we want to create in the world, what we want to see in the world. And I know this can be difficult, especially these days when we see a lot of what we don't want, when we see a lot of what isn't working for the abundance and sustainability for all beings on earth, to want to shout it from the rooftops like, this doesn't work, this isn't good, this is bad, we can't tolerate this anymore. It's okay to like have that view and that feeling. It's just what will bring us to something more sustainable. What do we want to focus on, not in terms of trying to feel differently, but because it will essentially bring health and well-being to ourselves, and therefore to others, and therefore to the world. So I can't wait to be here live more. This really did get me thinking about, where we put our attention. And I know for me, part of my motivation and my inspiration is to be part of the change. And even while I was away, this time in Phoenix, I was at the Hay House Healing Conference. And it's very uplifting in that same sense. I guess I always go to Phoenix for uplifting soul, mind experiences. And same with Sedona. And I think it's really just always so helpful to remember that it's not that we have to like force our thinking or try to feel good about something that we don't feel good about. It's just understanding that the more focus and attention we give to what we don't want to see in the world and in ourselves, the more it will just show up as part of our reality. Doesn't make it necessarily go away or come, but it will become what we see as our reality. And before I go, I'll just give you an example of my own life of how, the last three some years were very challenging. And it did take me into more and more low moods. And I got better at feeling through discomfort. And if I won't get into all of the benefits and the wins of that time as much as how I started to notice, especially before I went on my vacation to Mexico and to Denver and Phoenix, that I started to notice how I really was stuck in that story. Like, regardless of maybe some wins or like the pure stuff I saw and the clarity and the rays of consciousness that happened over that time, I could really see how there was a part of me still really in this pain, in this victim story of like what happened or how people were treated or what became exposed or all these things that, while it's not about denying reality, I think I was almost looking for someone to just say, wow, wow, babe, you really went through this. Like, this was really rough. But because I didn't really have that recognition. And I mean, ultimately, when we're looking for recognition from something or someone else, is like, I think I really needed to just recognize it in myself. Like, right, like I went through this and this was really hard and heartbreaking. And I think because I was looking for that recognition and that validation of like what I went through outside of myself, that then I was focusing on this story of pain. Unfortunately, though, especially breaking out of it, being in the sun of Mexico, I could see how that was keeping me in that vibration, that was keeping me in that victim vibration, that was keeping me in that pain body, that pain vibration. And as much as it wasn't that I needed to just think differently or change the story, it was like once I just validated for myself what I'd gone through, had some compassion and understanding why I wasn't really able to make some things happen or feel a certain type of way or be motivated or whatever it was. Then I noticed that without trying, the story could fall away and a new story has begun to emerge. And this is an accurate story, just as the other one is, of things that shifted, clarity I had, consciousness that raised, not just in me, but in the entire planet. And I began to feel what I knew to be true in my mind, I began to embody, which is optimism and hope for the future. So I don't know if you can relate. Let me know in the comments if this is just something you can relate or if it's time for you to have a different story and maybe feel through something that's causing you to feel like a victim. And let me know. Otherwise, like, subscribe. And now that I got this sorted, I'm definitely going to go live more. And I look forward to having more chat.